Okay, this is a tricky one. No power steering on a boiling hot day. Oh, I love manual steering on a hot day. It's bad enough on a cold day. Yeah, that will do. Bad parking, terrible trousers, and a very inappropriate shirt for this time of the year. Welcome to a very special update. This is a fleet update, which most YouTubers tend to do when they've lost track of how many cars they've got, of which they can't maintain at all because there's too many of them, not enough money and not enough time. Too many good videos to make, too much content. Me? I generally buy the cars that I want to own when the opportunity comes up, and I seize the opportunity of making them better before and after. And well, that's definitely the case with Project Beatrix. That would have been scrapped. She would have 100% been scrapped, bought for a very, very cheap sum indeed of £400. Not surprising, really. The seller wanted £850. I think he was having a bit of a joke. Nobody will touch a K series at that price when the head's starting to go. This car being my first car, 50 Shades of Panther Black, a constant companion through the dark times and the good times. And I've just got her out today, gave her a wash, and she's looking fantastic. And yeah, she needs some definitely new bumpers. I've got new number plates to go on when the bumpers are sorted. The roof could do with looking at long term because it doesn't quite match the quality of the rest of the paintwork, but it'll do for now. And Project Ruby as well, a car that I never intended to buy at that time, even though I was looking for a third car, specifically a YouTube car, a car that I would not have otherwise have bought because I'm always a two-car person. A free car, you're talking a balancing of time and money massively with this car. On most incomes, two cars is quite excessive. Free, you're playing raving lunatic. More than three, you can't look after them. So anyone who's got more than three cars, unless they've got very deep pockets and a six-figure salary, I doubt that you could cope with more than four cars. Not at this specification anyway, in quality and level of maintenance. And I'm very particular in my cars. I like to actually use cars for what they are, but at the same time to try and look after them at the highest level I can possibly achieve. That's difficult because there's only one of me. I'd like to multiply a few Andrews and dedicate an Andrew to each car, but that's not really viable or sustainable in any way, really. And what I'm doing at the moment, I don't think is particularly sustainable, not when it comes to YouTube. So you might have noticed some of my YouTube videos have been a little bit more less detailed, a little bit more generalised, particularly in terms of repair jobs, and that's because of time. I literally don't have the time to do YouTube no more in the way that I used to, because I've added one car, then another car, then another car, and then where does it stop? And then you end up like other YouTubers where things are starting to slip. And this next year, the focus is going to be having a few jobs done on it, which I haven't got round to doing because this car's taken up time. And then this car's occasionally given me some headaches, particularly with that coolant cap, which was stupid. But that whole saga lasted a long time, longer than what I would have liked. And that means that there's less time to go around. And I have, you know, a work life, a social life, a family life. Goodness me. I don't know how people do this when they have a partner and kids, because I don't have either of them. And I don't know how anybody could tolerate this sort of thing. Quite jokingly, none of my exes would absolutely not tolerate more than one car, let alone two. One car at best, but not two. Why do you need a second one? I'm a car guy, don't need explaining on that one. But there is one critical thing to note about this balance. This is the first time, by the way, that I've managed to gather all three cars here. They're all MOT'd, taxed and insured this month. As of this month, they are all taxed. So hence why the reason for this video, I managed to get them all out, put them here in front. And you could class this as an update, but I prefer to call it the power of three. Why? Because this video is actually a bit of an epitome, because since I've been learning to do all the work on my own cars, I've actually been learning skills from the bottom, learning to change a bulb, an air filter. That's where I started, and that's where you should all start. And now I end up doing all my own jobs, like changing the vinyl on this car. You know, really skilled, crafted jobs where you have to kind of have a good balance and a good skill set and a good practicality to do these jobs kind of effectively. And then anywhere else, it could be from suspension components to changing a sensor, or just refurbing some leather seats or a leather steering wheel. Everything. And I've got to that point where there's not much I can't do, and especially now I've conquered my lack of confidence in paint work, because I've now done a few paint jobs. The Focus is door mirrors, which have gone pretty well. This car in particular with the paint work, I'm thinking, yeah, if you apply yourself, you take your time, you learn from others, do lots of research, buy the right tools, the right resources, and don't rush. There's very, very few things that will go wrong under that scenario from what I've experienced. But it literally started probably 11 years ago with this car. 11 years with 50 Shades of Panther Black, which I have never named her because I've never given her a name. The family just call her the old girl. I am now going to drive this car to my parents a bit later after this video. They haven't seen the car in 2 years. It's been locked away in a garage, and before that it was being worked on. So they'll be very pleased to see it later in the day. And that's the kind of reaction you get. It's very, very precious car, this. But overall, don't be jealous, don't be envious, because I have people that are watching this who might be thinking, yeah, I really want this life. You know, Andrew's got a really cushy life. This isn't cushy. This is hard work. The amount of sacrificing time, sacrificing socialness, my social time, my family time, sacrificing parts of my body, because believe you me, the amount of injuries you accumulate working on cars, most of you do work on your own cars will know what I'm talking about. It's accumulative injuries, and I'm kind of a little bit tired at the moment. And I not only work on these three cars, I can dedicate a small amount of time to helping others. Nick, pleasure working on your cars, buddy, and there'll be plenty more episodes coming there, and a few other people. David, your Rover collection is absolutely wonderful, and it's been a pleasure working on the coupe, and there'll be more jobs to come on that one, and on all your other cars as well. So I am able to dedicate a few bits of time to other people, but I've had to scale back quite a bit, because owning three cars looks sexy, but it's really not. Not on today. Today's an amazing day. They all work-ish. But on most days, 9 times out of 10, we've either got issues, things that need looking at, things that need cleaning, things that need just maintaining, and then we've got due diligence, just inspection work. It's constant. It's never ending. It will never end after today. Today I'll probably end up doing something else. And I don't know how they have the energy for it. And this is a tricky thing with free cars, keeping them at this standard. Restoring a car, recommissioning a car, probably partial restoration, heavy recommission. This is a heavy recommission, to be honest. That's all good, because it's motivating seeing the car going from a really bad car, a really tired car, and a really just good car with tired bits on it and tired paintwork. It's nice seeing it get better and improve and look better and go better, perform better. But what happens when you get near to the top of the hill? The only way is down, which is why you think that these cars, you're probably thinking that these cars probably represent the best ones, best examples of their actual type, their model. Probably one of the best Mark 1s on the road today, but not, I would say there are others that are better. This 45, I'd say there are others better in the paintwork department, but mechanically and underbody, I don't think you'll get a better one. Mark 3 Fiesta. Well, I've seen some really tidy Mark 3 Fiestas, and this is a bit more tidy than some in many departments, including the underbody, the sills, all original, etc. But there's bits of this where it's not so tidy that others are tidy in. So I'm not quite sure. It's probably in the top bracket, but it's not one of the best, probably not at this stage, but very close. Only, I think, XRs. I've seen RS Turbos, XRs that are restored, preserved because they're worth it value-wise, aren't they? But seeing a common ordinary one of these, even in gear spec, which many people wouldn't have bought, in this condition, I think it's got to be there, and it is definitely up there. And that, for me, keeps the ball kind of not at the top of the hill, but slightly under. It's a good quote that Sir Alex Ferguson made about Manchester United. You never want to be at the top of the hill, and you never are at the top of the hill, because if you think you're at the top of the hill, you come rolling all the way down, and it is a really quick decline, put it that way. So really, honestly, don't be envious. I think the problem in the world we live in today is most people tend to be quite envious and jealous and all those other emotions that come when you see a beautiful car. I go to a car show, I'm really jealous of some people's cars, and I think my level is high, but this is another level. And then I go home thinking, what can I do to make my cars better? And that's the way you should see it at a car show. You shouldn't be jealous. You should use it to motivate you, to make you think, I can make my car so much better. And take some inspiration from it, because what that person has done is either sacrifice, time, money, exactly what I've done. And I think, do you know what? Don't be envious. Don't be jealous of that. Use it to motivate you. Because people have a habit of getting jealous and envious over other people from what they've got in front of you, what you see. But often people don't think about how they got it. And I've made an awful lot of sacrifice in my life in the last 10 years to get to this stage. My lovely Rover P6, I don't know where it is. I wish she would be here as the fourth car, because she was a really important car. 50 Shades of Mexico Brown, I called her. She was a really important car, and I learnt a lot from that, which I applied to that, which I've done to that, and used especially being carburettor distributor, old school on that. And that's where I'm going to leave this wonderful little episode, just to get the cars here. In terms of work that needs doing to it, we're talking bumpers. I've got the number plates made up, repro number plates from the originals. Bumpers will be resprayed later this year. The roof will be looked at probably long term, maybe in 12 months time. Beatrix don't need any work. The windscreen will do for now, but it will be changed probably at the beginning of next year. I want my investment to kind of stretch a little bit more to make this car a lot better than what she is at the moment, and you can always improve it. But touch wood, these two cars work, but you say touch wood and then something goes wrong. Ruby, we've got a few jobs, and they're really much improvement jobs, and fingers crossed that she continues to look the way she does, and I have no intention of moving Ruby on anytime soon. And the real reason for that is values of these are so poor, I wouldn't get much money for the amount of fantastic car that I'll be losing. So what's the point? Unless you're desperate for the money, and I'm not desperate for the money. In fact, I'll be trying my hand on heart to try and get a garage for this car long term, and that's really where I am, trying to get a garage for this car and to make sure that she is in as dry conditions as possible, like this car. The benefits of being in a garage, a dry garage, is just ridiculous, but a car cover has done very well. Anyway, I'm going to leave this here. Have a lovely hopefully enjoy the day. Hopefully you've enjoyed the the hot weather we've been having, and I think I'll put myself in some more appropriate clothes because I've got a journey to make in this car. This car is going to be shoved back in the corner, Beatrix straight in the middle, and that's it. And that's as far as I go, guys. There's nothing really else I have to add. This is my fleet update, just a straightforward me talking to the camera, and what a magnificent sight. I'm going to take a few photos, but anyway, you take care. See you very soon from Usually Fixing and Tinkering. Probably the highest peaked video near to the top of the mountain that I could possibly get. I don't think there's many more improvements, is there? They all work and I can use them, and that's what makes classics this age fantastic, and classics like this, nostalgia on a plate. Fish and chips, bread and butter. Take care. This is where she doesn't start again. Yes. Okay, a bit of choke. Yes. Fantastic. Power steering. See you. Bye bye.